Hello and welcome to the championship game of the 2023 PELIGRO Cup. I'm Jim Flanagan here on the Gremlins Network. Happy to have you with us from wherever you may be. Grab a bite to eat, something to drink, settle in. We've got a good one here. The number 1 ranked New York Gremlins taking on the number 2 ranked Niagara Stompers. Both teams coming off semi-final wins just last hour. We'll get to the starting lineups in just a moment. Here in the shadow of Yankee Stadium, Andrew Kirkpatrick with the first pitch in for a called strike. The Gremlins in their black uniforms and pinstripe pants, the Stompers in their white pinstripes, appropriate being alongside the old New York Yankees ballpark. In fact, playing on some of the turf right underneath the players' feet. Defensively for the Gremlins, it's Jerome Remaki over at third. He capped off the semifinal win with a 3-run walk-off home run. Cole Evans at short, Ladislao Malarchuk at second base, and Eric Ochoa at first base. The outfield, left to right, Matthew Waugh in left, Benny Noka in center, and Zenon Winters in right field, doing the catching, Nick Mullins. And as we said, the big fellow, Andrew Kirkpatrick, swing and a miss. Down goes Tio Migliavaca on strikes for the first out of the game. Migliavaca, the brother, of course, of Pablo Migliavaca, who's sitting in the dugout on the other side of the field. So a difficult choice for Mr. and Mrs. back home, the folks, but brothers playing each other. Here's Blake Milheim stepping in as the second hitter. Blake playing in right field today. Blake, a member of the USA national team. Migliavaca just retired on the strikeout for the Argentine team. A virtual collection of all of the top international players in this one on both sides of the field. Kirkpatrick bounces that one. Andrew, a complete game shutout yesterday, a 7-0 winner. At one point had retired something on the order of 12 or 13 batters in a row. Looked very sharp and a beauty of a pitch. Getting some great movement. Just the one game pitched by Andrew so far, so somewhat fresh for this point in the tournament. But as fastballers know, Andrew can throw all day. So.
Así es, gracias Jack. Viene el lanzamiento. Poquito abierto para el bateador.
A couple of Milheim's counterparts on the New York Gremlins side. Eric Ochoa for the Gremlins and Nick Mullins, first baseman and catcher respectively, also members of that USA team. So no strangers are these ball players to each other. Good crowd on hand here at the McCombs Dam Park. They call these the Heritage Fields. There are 3 of them, built on literally the hallowed grounds of what used to be the old Yankee Stadium. Hard grounder foul. Home plate very close to the backstop. Most of the pitches that get to the backstop come right back to the catcher, save an occasional carom. Little windy yesterday. The flags you'll see from time to time hanging on the top of the dugout will give you an idea how hard the wind is blowing. Not too much at this point, not as hard as it blew yesterday. Eight of the very best teams started this one on Thursday. Now down to the final 2 teams. 3-2 pitch misses off the plate, and Milheim will be the first base runner of the game. Milheim with the distinctive 00 on his back. We'll keep an eye on him. Both of these teams won their respective pools in pool play with 3-0 records and added a win to that tally this morning in the semifinals. Gremlins are on a 9-game win streak. They dropped their first game of the season in Simcoe at the Chiefs Challenge, then rattled off 5 consecutive wins to go with the 4 they have here. These two teams met in that Chiefs Challenge in the semifinals. The Gremlins coming away the winners in that one. Inoka shaded a little bit towards right field, and it's lifted out into deep center field. Forget about that one. Home run, Cam Schiller, right over the right field fence. Got a ball up and drove it out. Blake Milheim coming in front of him, and it's a 2-0 Niagara lead.
Dificultad aquí, Patrick, con estos bateadores del equipo de Niagara de Canadá. Nada fácil.
There you see it on the replay. Watch the location. Up in the zone in, and he just turned on it. So the batter, Marshall Cronk, stepping in. The Gremlins gave up 2 runs in the first inning of their semifinal game, so they trailed at one point 2-0, just like they do right now. So this is only the second time in the tournament they have trailed in a game. Niagara coming out strong. Marshall Cronk, a member of the Australian national team and most valuable player at last year's ISC World Tournament. 1-2 count now on Marshall. Missing off the plate outside. Now we see the winds kicking up a bit. It's been a noisy, boisterous crowd here all weekend long. A whole bunch of them lined up along the fence and further back along the streets of New York. We are literally in the heart of New York City, El Bronx. Grounded foul, good location by Kirkpatrick. All of the pitchers have, or most of them have talked about the sandy condition of the pitchers area, so we'll keep an eye on that. Lined into left field. That one's going to take one hop, skip up, and stay in the park. Matthew Waugh picks it up and throws it back in to Cole Evans. So Marshall Cronk with a double to left. Still just 1 out. And that'll bring up Blake Underwood. Underwood from Team Canada.
Quiere hacer la diferencia también, y aquí no hay nombre que no se quite.
So Milheim walked the homer by Schiller. And now the double by Marshall Cronk. Time is called.
Colocando un corredor ahí en segunda. Con apenas un solo out. 2 carreras en entrada. On the one. Leppel es el bateador de turno. Una información de Peligro Sport 22:00 de Amsterdam. Preparado Kirkpatrick. Llega el lanzamiento rápido, la hace swing.
Foul up to the screen.
No bate de foul. Cómprate un bate en Peligro Sport y seguro que batea de hit. Peligro Sport.
This would be the Canadian portion of this batting order with Underwood at the plate. Dylan Cunningham and Brock Attewell will follow. Grounder, that one's going to go up the middle, backhanded by Malarchuk, pulls him off the bag, and safe at first is Underwood. Meanwhile on the play, Marshall Cronk moves over to third. So an infield single for Blake Underwood. And that'll bring Dylan Cunningham to the plate.
De nuevo, Kirkpatrick.
Missing high with that one.
Un poco abierto.
Bueno, Kirkpatrick ahí con problemas, vuelvo y digo, con estos bateadores.
It was the young Australian that pitched against the Stompers in the Chiefs Challenge. That was Jack Besgrove's game. Little slow roller out to Kirkpatrick. Looks to third, freezes the runner, throws to first for the out. Good play by Andrew. So 2 outs in the inning. Moving over on the play is Underwood, and that'll bring Brock Attewell to the plate.
De este partido. Sigue el partido, corredor en segunda y tercera, con 2 outs ahora y te sigue narrando el topo 15.
Brock Underwood es el bateador de turno.
High hopper to short. Cole Evans on one hop over to Ochoa, and the side retired. The Stompers get some runs in the first. Home run by Cam Schiller, bringing home 2. We'll head to the home half of the first inning, 2-0 Stompers.
Stomper del Niágara tiene 2. New York Gremlins.
Home half of the first inning in this championship game of the PELIGRO Cup 2023 edition here in New York City. Stompers getting on the board early with the 2-run homer off the bat of Cam Schiller, bringing home Blake Milheim. Defensively for the Stompers, it'll be Peter Rona over at third base, shortstop Cam Schiller, Brock Attewell at second base, and Big Marshall Kronk over at first base. The outfield, left to right, Blake Underwood in left, Tio Migliavaca in center field, and Blake Milheim in right field. Behind the plate, Juan Cruz Zara will do the catching, and in the circle, it is Martin Gonzalez. So Gonzalez and Zara, the battery for these Stompers. Many of them members of last year's ISC. World champions, Kitchener, Ontario. Batting order for the Gremlins, they'll send up Matthew Waugh, followed by Jerome Remaki and Ben Inoka. Eric Ochoa will bat cleanup. Zenon Winters in the 5 spot. Cole Evans batting 6th. Ladislao Malarchuk batting 7th. Blake Hunter, the DP in this one, will bat 8th. And the catcher Nick Mullins will bat 9th. So the Gremlins trying to climb back in this one. Even the ledger down right now 2-0.
Vamos para la parte baja del primer episodio. Viene al bate Roy, te sigue narrando el topo 15.
Bueno, a continuación del partido, parte baja del primer episodio, 2 carreras fabricaron el equipo de Stompers del Niágara. Vamos a ver cómo le va al equipo.
First pitch from Gonzalez downstairs, taken for a ball. Corners for the Stompers in a little bit in front of the bag. Peter Rona at third and Marshall Kronk at first. Peter, of course, with that height, able to grab most anything coming his way. Foul tip off the screen. Not formal seating here at McCombs Dam Park. Most of the people bring their own chairs, stand along the fence, along the backstop. There's also another row that follows in the middle. There you see an aerial shot. Thank you from Softball Premier TV. You kind of get a look at what's going on down under. We set right off the streets of New York City. You'll hear the train go overhead from time to time. There's a chain link fence that runs around the ballpark, and people are lined up all the way along that one, all the way down past the dugouts.
Una vez más, recordarles a todos ustedes que estamos en la parte baja del primer episodio. Stompers fabricó 2 carreras. Vamos a ver cómo le van los Gremlins de Nueva York. Llega el lanzamiento.
Ball off the plate outside.
Para Roy. Está en el círculo de espera de información. PELIGRO Sport 2200 de antes.
The Gremlins are an aggressive hitting team, but they're also patient enough to lay off the balls out of the strike zone. They opened the tournament, getting 8 walks against the Lumberjacks. That played a key role in that particular win. Lined into right field. That one's going to be down the line and gone. A line shot straight away, right field, about fence height level. And we've got a 2-1 ball game.
El mismo sistema, el mismo batazo, el mismo recibimiento que le dan aquí a González.
Good power for a leadoff hitter.
Y ya cortar la primera carrera de este partido. Me acaba de informar la Retama Sport que se va a dar más.
So just like that, the lead cut in half. Here's Jerome Remaki. His last at-bat finished the semifinal game, launched a long, towering 3-run homer down towards Yankee Stadium in right field. It was a 7-2 game at the time. That turned it into 10, and a run rule victory for the Gremlins. So not your typical 1-2 hitters, Wah and Remaki. Lays off the rise.
Porque la temperatura, como está un poco baja y la humedad y además oscuro por la nublazón, tenemos que tener esas luces claras.
Swing and a miss on that one. Looking for another. 12 home runs, that would be 13 now with Waz on the season for them in just the 2 tournaments. Cole Evans, the leader, with 3, Zenon Winters with 2, and a whole club of Gremlins with 1 to their credit. High pop foul. It's going to be deep shortstop. That's Cam Schiller backing up onto the outfield grass to make the catch.
Partido no apto para menores, tampoco para cardíacos. Muchos fanáticos llegando en el tren 4, en la guagua 11.
So the batter will be Ben Inoka. Inoka also homered in the semifinal game. The Lumberjacks made a pitching change, and Inoka was first pitch swinging, hit the first pitch out of the yard. That one in on the inside part for a called strike. On deck, Eric Ochoa, standing over in the third base side on deck circle. Ball off the plate outside.
Ben Inoka. Hay una carrera adentro en esta parte baja del primer episodio para los New York Gremlins. En este partido final. Vuelvo y repito. Ahora sí ya no hay mañana.
1-1 pitch. In on the outside edge for a called strike, so advantage Gonzalez.
No hay mañana. Aquí que perdió, campeón, se lleva todo lo que hay aquí en una caja de oro, señores.
1-2 pitch to Inoka, way upstairs on the rise ball. Gonzalez trying to get Inoka to chase, he didn't, so the count even at 2-2. Rona and Krunk just a step or so in front of the bag on the corners. Everybody else straight away.
Ahí, bueno, acaba de llegar Peligro también. Preparado en el bote con el lanzamiento.
Change up stays upstairs.
Afuera también. Ave María, el partido.
So advantage back to Inoka with a 3-2 full count.
Esto se pone de color hormiga. 2 por 1. Preparado de nuevo el derecho. Aquí viene el lanzamiento.
Foul straight back to the screen. Benny just missed that one.
Seguro que batea de hit. Peligro Sport en el 2200 de Amsterdam Avenue. Ahí usted compra los bates, los guantes, la gorra, la chaqueta, todo lo que usted necesita para verse bien en un terreno de juego. Lo encuentra en Peligro Sport, original y a buen precio. Vamos a llevar saludo a la selección de la Canela, Santiago de los Caballeros. Sigue el partido, sigue el topo.
Llegó el lanzamiento.
Swing and a miss on a good rise ball from Gonzalez. So Gonzalez ahead in the count, then Inoka turned it back to his advantage, but down on strikes he goes. 2 outs in the inning. It'll be Eric Ochoa.
Para la escuelita de la bala. La escuelita ahí que tiene la bala para que la gente aprenda a batear ese tipo de lanzamiento. No solo punching aquí. Hay 2 outs.
A United Nations of players around the infield. Pete Rona at third, New Zealand, Schiller, USA, Attewell, Canada at second, Marshall Kronk, Australia at first, Zara behind the plate, Argentine. Laced into the gap in right center field. That one's going to roll all the way to the wall, bounces up. He makes the play, but by then, Eric Ochoa steaming into second base with a stand-up double. You see Blake Milheim coming up with the ball, got it back in quickly, but all the way to the fence the ball goes. So Ochoa representing the tying run or potential tying run with Zenon Winters at the plate. Winters perhaps the hottest hitter for these Gremlins, leading or at the top of most all of the offensive categories, hits, RBIs. Batting average.
Sigue el partido, sigue el topo.
Listo de nuevo, llegó el lanzamiento.
Inside for a ball.
De Martín González, lanzador derecho por el equipo de Stompers, el Niágara. Está ganando su partido 2 por 1 hasta ahora. Hay que mantener a ver si se mantiene aquí liderando.
Same location, same result.
Alto para Winter, el jardinero derecho, número 53 en su espalda.
Cole Evans will be next if we get that far. Right now, the game is at the plate with Winters. Ochoa at second. Laced into the gap in left center field. It'll drop in, coming around third, and scoring easily is Ochoa. And Zenon Winters adds another to his RBI tally. Watch it here on the replay. Just went the other way with it. Ball drops in, and we are tied at 2.
Acaban de empatar el partido, 2 carreras por bando. Partido no apto para menores, tampoco para cardíaco.
Almost a carbon copy of the game, the semifinal game the Gremlins played in. They gave up 2 in the first and came right back to tie the game before going on to win. Larry Lynch, the skipper for the Niagara Stompers, out to have a word with his crew, including I'm sure most especially Martin Gonzalez. Evans will be the hitter.
Son 2 copas que tienen allá en Puerto Rico, Billy y allí. Ya lo vi aquí. El partido empatado a 2 carreras por bando. Y la misma primera entrada, estos 2 equipos.
Evans started the day at the 300 mark. Came into today leading the Gremlins with 3 home runs. Good power out of the 7th spot in the batting order. Bounces that one in the dirt, gets away from Zara, and Winters will jog to second.
El campo corto es el bateador de turno. Información de Peligro Sport 2200 de Amsterdam Avenue. No puede retener el catcher ahí, este lanzamiento un poco incómodo. Y se aprovecha ahí, y eso. Winter se va hacia la segunda base. Llega el lanzamiento de nuevo.
Hard one into the 5.5 hole. Coming around third and steaming home is Winters as the ball gets by left fielder Underwood. Goes all the way to the fence. Here comes Cole Evans all the way around to score.
New York Gremlins toma la ventaja una vez más.
We'll watch the replay. You see the ball get by Underwood out in left field. Hard hit ball. A smash off to the races. They go. Winter scored easily, but Cole Evans never broke stride and got the go-ahead wave from the skipper over in the third base box. And just like that, the New York Gremlins have turned the tables on the Stompers.
Lo bañó medio a medio ahí, lo que provocó ese error que el bateador llegara hasta el home plate. El equipo, los Gremlins, se van hacia adelante.
We'll let the official scorer make the call on that particular hit, but the result is 2 runs for the Gremlins, and they jump on top 4-2. Came into the inning down 2-0, and right now on top 4-2.
En un solo escenario, los mejores jugadores del mundo están con nosotros. Ladislao es el bateador de turno, segunda base. Le llega el lanzamiento.
Ball taken off the plate outside. A lot of these fans have been waiting around all day. They wanted to see the final championship game in this PELIGRO Cup tournament, and they're already getting a handful in the first inning. Tried to check his swing, but couldn't hold up.
Martín González es el lanzador. Una bola, 2 strikes, es el conteo para Ladislao. Segunda base por el equipo de los New York Gremlins. Lanzamiento abierto. No se olviden que esta es la Supercopa Peligro Sport, su último partido.
So the count 2-1 on Ladislao Malarchuk from Argentina. Waiting on deck is Blake Hunter. Little flare foul ball off that screen. It's a chain link fence screen that goes up and over home plate. Keeps a lot of balls from leaving the park. As we said, we're right on top of 2 city streets that intersect behind us, so it prevents the lost ball issue. 2-1 pitch from Gonzalez. Stays upstairs, 3-1. Four hits in the inning for the Gremlins, 4 runs to show for it. Foul tip over on the left side. Peter Rona will come in and run that one down. Friends and family of Peter Rona looking on from New Zealand, of course. Lots of folks familiar with that family name. Great to see a youngster coming on in the next generation. One's lifted high and foul comes up off that screen. That one probably saved Malarchuk. Might have been a pop fly in the infield, but he'll get another chance here with a 3-2 count.
Una vez más, Martín González buscando la señal del cacho. Llega su lanzamiento rápido, foul de nuevo.
Foul tip.
Bueno, la verdad que está fajado ahí el bateador con el pitcher González. No quiere que lo madrugue. Pero si no compra un bate en Peligro Sport, te va a llevar quien te trajo. Peligro Sport, lo mejor.
So Gonzalez continuing to work away on Malarchuk, and Malarchuk fighting off the pitches, trying to stay alive.
Está con nosotros Mr. Black. Ave María. Listo de nuevo. Llegó el lanzamiento.
Just off the outside edge. I think Gonzalez thought he had the strike, headed towards the dugout, but Malarchuk aboard with a walk.
rociando su base por bola.
Fourth straight runner for the Gremlins to reach base. That'll bring Blake Hunter
Foul.
to the plate.
Al final provocó que González se desviara y ahí está anclado en primera con una transferencia más para el equipo.
Hunter, of course, we've talked about the Grand Slam that won the Chiefs Challenge tournament in the championship game. So he can rise to the occasion in a pressure-packed game. That one's in for a strike. Starting some games, not starting others. Somewhere in the middle on the hit tally, but he's high in the RBI count. A run producer, is he? High pop-up, that one's to center. It's going to carry back a little bit. It'll be Migliavacca going back to make the catch. And the side retired. But not before the New York Gremlins get 4 on 4 hits. We'll head to the top half of the second inning. Gremlins on top 4-2 in this championship game of the 2023 Copa Peligro.
Así es, Topo.
Top half of the second inning for the Stompers. We're down to the 8-9 spots. That's Peter Rona and Juan Cruz Zara, the catcher. And back to the top of the shop to Tio Migliavacca. The Stompers with 2 runs in their first frame. That one comes inside and looked like it hit Rona. Pitching inside, trying to get him from extending those big arms, and hits him in the process. So a free pass for Rona. I think it'll be important for both of these teams to eliminate as much as they can the free passes. It was a walk to Blake Milheim in the first. He came around to score on the homer. Now Rona aboard on the hit by pitch, and Zara at the plate. Bounces that one outside. Comes inside. Did he get him on the bat or the hand? No, another hit batter. So Kirkpatrick struggling a little bit here in the second after the 4-run outburst by the Gremlins gave him a 2-run lead. And the Stompers trying to climb back in on the free pass. Skipper Greg Leather is going to come out and have a word with Andrew. You can see a bit of frustration in his face. He's been throwing well. Shutout complete game yesterday. Looks like he's got good movement. Just location issues on the inside pitch. Back to the top of the order we go. It's Tio Migliavacca. Migliavacca was a strikeout victim his first trip to the plate to lead off the game. So Rona at second.
Sigue el partido, sigue el Topo.
Gracias, Jack. Continuación, Kirkpatrick llega el lanzamiento.
Shows bunt but doesn't.
Abierta de nuevo. Ha podido traer muchas cosas buenas aquí en esta entrada, en la parte alta del segundo episodio. Así que el equipo de los Stompers puede aprovechar esa debilidad. Llegó el lanzamiento.
Misses inside with that one.
La segunda bola mala.
Migliavaca, the leadoff hitter for the Stompers, and Matthew Waugh, the leadoff hitter for the Gremlins. Somewhat similar.
No deje de seguirnos.
Good contact hitters, good speed, but they also a good amount of power, so don't be surprised. Puts the bunt down. It's a good one. Kirkpatrick, the only play he has over at first base, had to hurry it. He looked to the bags ahead, but both of those runners already right on top of them, so he makes the only play he had. Credit sacrifice to Migliavaca, 1 out in the inning on the 1-4 put out. And Blake Milheim will be the batter.
El empate de este partido. Sigue el partido, sigue el topo.
Well, ahí llegó el lanzamiento rápido, la vio pasar.
Outside edge for a strike on that one. Milheim, as we said, a walk in his first trip to the plate against Kirkpatrick, came around to score on that two-run homer by Cam Schiller.
De las dos que tiene el equipo de Stomper. Llega el lanzamiento de Kirkpatrick, foul hacia atrás.
Fouled off on the right side. So Kirkpatrick quickly ahead on Milheim, 0-2.
En Peligro Sport, la supertienda, la más moderna y la más grande de la ciudad de Nueva York. Peligro Sport. Sigue el partido, sigue el topo.
De nuevo, Kirkpatrick buscando la señal de su receptor. Llega el lanzamiento rápido.
Good drop ball downstairs.
Pegadito ya veneno. ¿Qué está pasando con los lanzamientos de Kirkpatrick?
1-2. The count on Milheim. Peter Rona at third. Zara out at second base, trying to look over the shoulder of the 6'7" Kirkpatrick. Oh, a beautiful pitch. That one started off the plate, broke inside, right across the outside edge. Here you'll see it on the replay. Great movement on that one, breaking left to right, framed by Mullins for the strikeout, 2 outs, and bringing Cam Schiller to the plate. Foul tip, first pitch swinging. Schiller, a member of the USA national team, and homered in this one. So Kirkpatrick with first base open, you have to think he'll pitch carefully, though it won't get any easier with Marshall Cronk waiting on deck.
Sambla dio un comentario ahorita diciendo que la Kennedy dejó el pitch para última hora el mejor y eso le provocó que le dieran el turno.
The umpire's talking, I believe, about the substitution at second base, 2-out catcher rule. It was Zara at second, so Blake Milheim, the last out, will take his place. Rona staying over at third.
Hasta el momento de este torneo, 24 Copa Peligro Sport. Va a llevar saludo ahí al doctor Puro Fajardo que anda por ahí con Roberto.
So it's Milheim at second.
Vámonos a la continuación del partido una vez más.
And an 0-1 count on Cam Schiller.
Aprovechar su lanzamiento rápido, llegó.
Off the plate outside, 1-1. Eric Ochoa back about a step from the bag at first. Remaki just about even over at third. Bounces that one for a ball, 2-1.
No deje de ver esto por todas las redes sociales, a través de Somos Premier TV. A Gagá le quedan 2 con aguacate todavía. Listo el lanzamiento.
In for a call strike. That'll even it count at 2-2. The outfield straight away. Left to right, it's Waugh, Inoka, and Winters. Potential tying run at second base. Swing and a miss. Good location by Kirkpatrick. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Schiller with the open stance, almost the right foot almost out of that box. Swing and a miss. Got one away from the left-hander. So back-to-back strikeouts by Kirkpatrick after surrendering a couple of hit batters. So got himself into trouble and then got himself out of trouble. Great effort by the left-hander. We played an inning and a half. It's still 4-2, the New York Gremlins over the Niagara Snappers. We'll be back with more great action from the COPA PELIGRO right after this. And back for the home half of the second inning. Looks like a pitching change for the Niagara Snappers. If I'm not mistaken, that would be number 28, Joran Graham, coming on to pitch for Martin Gonzalez. So close the book on Gonzalez, surrendering the 4 runs back in the first. Skipper Larry Lynch making a move early. Plenty of great arms over in that dugout. And this is the final game, so no reason to hold back. For the Gremlins, it'll be 9-1-2. That's Mullins, Waugh, and Remaki Inoka if we get that far. So the hitters, Mullins and Waugh, standing over near the on-deck circle, just watching Graham take his warm-up tosses. We'll be back in a moment.
Mirando bien el partido, observando lo que pasa en el terreno de juego y tirando a ver qué es lo que hay. Bueno, el partido se encuentra 4 carreras por 2. Arriba el equipo de los Gremlins de New York contra el equipo de Stompers de Niagara, de Canadá. Vamos para la parte baja del segundo y te sigue narrando el topo 15.
Here's Nick Mullins.
Gracias, Alperero. Llegaron los cambios rápidamente ya. Y eso que estamos en la parte baja del segundo inning. Ya lo saben, gente mía, gente buena. Por un lado, llevaron a González. Le traen a Graham.
Graham missing away again.
Está pichando para el equipo del Stompers de Niagara. Al equipo de New York Gremlins. Vamos a ver cómo le va en la entrada.
Foul tip. Mullins out in front of that one, a little anxious. That noise you hear in the background, the night train. If anybody needs a ride to Manhattan or parts south of here, west, east. The wind's kicking up again, so the ball will carry out towards right field. Little drop ball on the outside edge by Graham.
Super Copa Peligro Sport. 2 bolas, 2 strikes. Para Nick Mullins. Listo de nuevo, llegó el lanzamiento.
Swing and a miss. Mullins out in front. Looked like he took a little bit off of that one. Down on strikes goes Mullins. So back to the top of the shop we go. Matthew Waugh. All Waugh did in his first at-bat was hit a line drive home run over the right field fence. That, of course, was against Gonzalez. He'll get his first look at Joran Graham here in the second. Ball off the plate outside.
Como siempre le vengo diciendo, señores, estos son partidos de alta categoría. Este es el softball molinete, donde están los mejores jugadores del mundo, sean pitcher, catcher, lanzadores.
Ball taken inside.
Tercera, todos son grandes ligas. La vio pasar strike cantar. Saludos para el buey.
Always hard for a pitcher to come in cold. Graham looking like he's still trying to find that groove, get his strike zone adjusted to where he wants. There's one. That one's hit into right field. right in between first baseman Marshall Cronk and Brock Attewell. So Matthew Waugh with his second hit of the game. 1 out, and that'll bring Jerome Remaki. There you see it. Hard hit ground ball into right field. All he does is hit. Shows bunt. A little surprise there for the Stompers.
No bate de foul, cómprate un bate en Peligro Sport y seguro que batea de hit. Peligro Sport. 22-00 de Amsterdam.
Remaki started the day with a 385 average. He's among the leaders in the hits and right up near the top in RBIs as well.
Un saludo especial para su amigo Emilio Guayabal. Está por ahí. Después de haber hecho un trabajo allá en el diamante número 2. Sigue el partido, sigue el top.
This being the New Zealand portion of the Gremlins lineup with Remaki to be followed by Benny Noka. Hard hopper down to first. It'll be foul.
No bate de foul. Cómprate los útiles deportivos en Peligro Sport. Seguro que batea de hit. Visita Peligro Sport. Si usted llega a la ciudad de Nueva York y no pasa por
McCombs Dams Park in New York City, a unique spot for men's fast pitch games. How many times do you take the Yankee Stadium exit to come to the ballpark to play or watch? That one off the plate outside, away from Remaki. Remaki likes the ball in. He turned on one in that semifinal, and they're still looking for it. So Graham trying to work him outside. That one's upstairs for a ball. If you joined us late, Martin Gonzalez was the starter for Niagara, went 1 inning, surrendered 4. That one stays upstairs as well, still trying to pound the outside part of the plate on the left-hander Remaki. High pop foul.
No bate de foul. Llégate a la tienda Peligro Sport, compra los útiles deportivos. Seguro que va a batear de hit. Peligro Sport, 2200 de Amsterdam Avenue, ahí en Manhattan. Saludo especial para el profesor Víctor, que anda por ahí, de la Fundación Víctor Ortega. Sigue el partido, sigue el topo.
Pide tiempo.
Remaki with the open stance, and if you're drawing a heat zone the way they do for hitters, you have to think the outside part of the plate. About the only safe place on him. There's one in, a little flare. That one's going to drop right on the dirt. Around second, on his way to third is Matthew Waugh. A little 9-iron chip shot from Remaki just went the other way, and I'm not even sure it drew grass. Let's look at the replay. No man's land, nothing they can do. And Matthew Waugh with great speed was off to the races. So runners at second and third.
Matthew llevando magistralmente su equipo paso a paso.
That won't be the longest double Remaki gets this year, but he'll certainly take it. Over at third, Matthew Waugh, and it's Benny Noka at the plate. Inoka, a strikeout victim his first time up. That came against Gonzalez. Ball low. Inoka with a solo home run in the semifinal game to greet the relief pitcher, Osika. Good pitch by Graham. Good location. In for a called strike.
Es el nuevo catcher para el equipo de Stompers de Niagara, su número 2.
Anytime a runner at second base, you're thinking maybe the signs will rotate or be switched. Perhaps that was the discussion. Ball down in the dirt. Here comes Matthew Waugh, and Zara can't find it. as the ball rolls all the way almost into the Gremlins dugout. Over to third goes Remaki, and the Gremlins get a free one there. See it on the replay.
Que siguen hacia adelante, 5 carreras por 2. El pitch ha venido un poco descontrolado, le han puesto la marca en su espalda. Los bateadores no son nada fáciles. Sigue el partido y te sigue narrando el topo.
So here's the 2-1 pitch to Inoka. Misses inside. So it's a 5-2 game right now early here in the bottom half of the second inning. Inoka with a chance to bring in another. Hard grounder foul over on the left side.
No bate de foul, cómprate los bates, los guantes, la guantilla, los cascos protectores, la pechera, los uniformes en Peligro Sport y seguro que batea de hit. Peligro Sport, 2200 de Amsterdam Avenue, ahí en Manhattan, entre la 169 y la 170. Usted va ahí y encuentra peligro. Sigue el partido, sigue el topo.
Foul tip, check swing.
No bate de foul.
So we'll do it again, 3-2.
Tanto en New York como en Santiago. Y seguro que si compra los útiles deportivos allá va a batear de hit y de cuadrangular. Peligro Sport, 2200 de Amsterdam en Manhattan.
High hopper out to Rona. Rona looks back to third, throws to Kronk for the out. Took a look back to Remaki, fellow Kiwi. So 2 outs in the inning, and Remaki still at third. Watch the replay there. I think perhaps an appeal, maybe saying that it came off his foot or something, but the out call was made, so Inoka is retired as the second out. Eric Ochoa at the plate. Eric with a double to right field last time up. Ochoa started the day with a .421 average at the top of most of the hit categories, along with Winters and Cole Evans. That one goes to the screen, and Zara scrambling to keep that ball in play and keep Remaki at third base. We mentioned the close proximity behind home plate, and the ball will come back to you, but it hits so quickly, sometimes comes back pretty hard. Off the plate outside on Ochoa. Zenon Winters waiting on deck. Neither one of these lineups have any place for a pitcher to catch his breath. You've got to be sharp on every batter, every pitch. A little flare lifted out into left field, and that one's going to drop in. Left fielder Underwood, Gio Migliavaca, and Cam Schiller all gave chase. Watch the replay. I think maybe thought each of the others were going to take it. Nobody really called off, and it just fell into no man's land. Texas leaguer. And the Gremlins get another run. So second hit for Ochoa. That'll bring Zenon Winters to the plate. Winters with an RBI single to left field last time up. It's a 6-2 game now with Ochoa at first. Foul tip off the screen.
Cómprate un bate en Peligro Sport y seguro que batea de hit. Con problema ahí el lanzador derecho con estos bateadores del equipo de los Gremlins de New York. Que no quieren que lo madruguen.
0-2 on Winters now.
Mucho problema ahí. Sigue el partido, sigue el topo.
Listo de nuevo, llegó el lanzamiento, le iba a hacer swing, se aguantó.
Inside for a ball, 1-2.
Señores, lo que está pasando aquí no lo... están saludando, señores. Lo están saludando. No crean que una bulla cualquiera. Ellos nos están saludando a nosotros. La Super Copa.
That ball down, gets away from Zara, but recovers quickly to keep Ochoa at first.
Así es, no va a hacer esta Copa Peligro Sport. Yo dice, eso es Yankee Stadium, ahí están jugando los Grandes Ligas.
Zara can skip the gym tomorrow. He's getting a workout behind home plate right now.
Peligro Sport haciendo historia en la ciudad de Nueva York. Sigue el partido, sigue el topo.
Rounder up the middle. That's a base hit for Winters. Moving up 60 feet is Ochoa. And Zenon Winters just continues to swing a hot bat. He, like Ochoa, 2 for 2 in the game. Winters started the day with a .421 average and has just added to that tally all day long. Cole Evans will step in and get a chance to bring home another. Joran Graham trying to get that third out. Misses downstairs. Nope, in for a strike.
Graham es el lanzador por el equipo de los Stompers de Canadá, que no son fáciles también, un equipo campeón. Llega el lanzamiento.
Bounces that one in the dirt, taken for a ball.
El equipo de los Stompers son campeones también. Aquí no hay equipo.
Ladislao Malarchuk waiting on deck, but right now the game is with Cole Evans and Joran Graham.
Solamente Peligro puede hacer esa clase de reuniones. Traerlos todos aquí en una sola página.
Jammed him inside on that one, couldn't do anything but take the strike.
Disfruten de este maravilloso partido último de la serie de cuatro días consecutivos. La Supercopa Peligro Sport. Ahí anda Peligro, ahí contento, feliz.
Oh, comes inside and hits Evans.
Le dan de bola ahí a Cole Evans.
So the Gremlins continue to put men on base. Ochoa moving over to third, Winters to second, and the hit batter Cole Evans down at first. I've lost track of the number of times this weekend that the Gremlins have loaded the bases. Seems like every time you turn around they are. I'm sure it seems that way to some of the opposing teams that have faced them. Here's Malarchuk. He walked in his first trip. That was against Martin Gonzalez. So his first look at Joran Graham.
Ave María, las bases llenas. Cuidado con Ladislao.
Foul tip, first pitch swinging is Malarchuk.
Para el bateador.
No bate de foul. Visita la tienda Peligro Sport. Cómprate un bate y seguro que batea de hit. Peligro Sport en el 2200 de Amsterdam Avenue. Ahí te encuentras los útiles deportivos a buen precio, originales en Peligro Sport.
Así mismo vamos a la continuación. Llega de nuevo el derecho, busca la señal.
The 1 pitch. Hard grounder to Rona. He spears it across the bag and makes the throw. But a foul ball.
El árbitro no está fácil.
Good defensive play by Rona anyway. Let's look at the replay if we get a chance.
No hay forma de engañar, un batazo bien pegadito a la raya, pero en el área de foul. Saludo especial para el profesor Víctor Ortega que está por ahí.
Ochoa trying to come off the bag at third on that play, but a big blockade by the big fella Rona. We'll reset the action now with an 0-2 count to Malarchuk. Swing and a miss on a good rise ball. And the side is retired, but not before the Gremlins add 2 on 4 more hits. We'll head to the top half of the third inning. 6-2 New York Gremlins in this championship game of the 2023 Peligro Cup in New York City.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it.
Bueno, vamos para la parte alta.
Top half of the third inning, it'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the Niagara Snappers. That's Marshall Cronk, Blake Underwood, and Dylan Cunningham.
Oro, plata y bronce, todo lo que suena por aquí, todo lo que usted ve por ahí, que está pasando aquí en el terreno.
Cronk a double to left his first trip to the plate, got as far as third, but did not score.
Jugadores, bateadores, pitcher, catcher, shortstop, segunda, primera, tercera, los jardineros. Oro lo que tenemos aquí.
There's that little curve ball starting on the outside edge coming in. Looks like a ball all the way till the end, and it snaps for a strike. Little curve. We see Andrew going down to one knee. It's been the sandy landing area. You have to think a big fella taking that long stride. If you look closely, you might be able to see the little divot. From time to time, Kirkpatrick going down to a knee. There he does it again, losing his footing. So might have to get the ground crew out to tamp that down a little bit, put a bit of water on it, but it's been an issue for some of the pitchers all weekend. And as the tournament wears on, more and more games played here. Gets a little softer still. Ball off the outside part of the plate. Way upstairs, almost hit him.
Alto lanzamiento por la cabeza ahí. El bateador tuvo que tirarse rápidamente.
Blake Underwood smiling on that one that almost hit Marshall Cronk. And he takes the fourth ball for a walk. So Marshall Cronk aboard for the second time today, leading off with the walk. That's the fourth free pass that Kirkpatrick has surrendered. Walked one in the first, who scored. Hit two batters, but pitched himself out of trouble in the second. Hard grounder to short. Cole Evans picks it up, shovels it over to Malarchuk. Almost bounced off his glove rather than a throw. Let's watch the replay. This is a beauty. Hard grounder. You see Evans. All he could do was knock it down, and as the ball caromed to Malarchuk for the out. So it only says 6-4 in the scorecard, but a great play by Cole Evans. Underwood aboard on the fielder's choice. That'll bring up Dylan Cunningham. Cunningham, I think I first saw 15 years ago. He was a junior on the Canadian men's team. They played in Whitehorse at the World Championships. So do the math, 2008, it's 2023, that's 15 years. So last time I saw him, he was a rookie. Now he's a Sage veteran. Rise ball way upstairs for a ball. The wind's kicking up again, but blowing more to the right field foul line than they are out. Swing and a miss, and down goes Cunningham. So out number 2, that'll bring up Brock Attewell. Attewell a ground out to Cole Evans, his first trip to the plate. In on the outside part of the plate. Kirkpatrick has been working that part yesterday and today to great success. There it is again, swing and a miss. Getting Attewell to chase, so 0-2. Swing and a miss on a rise ball. 2 strikeouts to end the inning, just as he did in the second. for the Stompers. No runs, no hits, one man left. We've played 2.5 innings. It's 6-2. Right after this. Home half of the third inning, it'll be Blake Hunter to lead things off. He'll be followed by Nick Mullins, and then back to the top of the order. Blake, member of Team Canada, broke into the World Championship stage in 2017. That was the one in Whitehorse. Member of several Canadian junior all-star teams. In Whitehorse, had a couple of home runs, drove in 7 or 8, so he can put some runs on the board by himself. Right now, batting with nobody aboard. Foul tipped in front of the plate. Has played primarily up in the Pacific Northwest club team, the Souk Loggers. If any of those fellows are looking on, watching Blake play in this one. Proud Loggers, no doubt. Missing inside is Graham. Martin Gonzalez started this one, only lasted 1 inning, surrendered the 4 to start. Jorn Graham came on to replace him in the second. High pop fly over to right field. Coming on to catch it is Blake Milheim. So Blake retires Blake. We've got 3 in the game. Blake Hunter, Blake Milheim, Blake Underwood. Here's Nick Mullins. Mullins 0 for 1 on the day. Strikeout in his first trip to the plate. Matthew Waugh waiting on deck. Hard grounder up the middle. He's got himself a base hit. So he keeps battling, and that one he fights off and bangs one up the middle for a single. Gremlins with yet another runner aboard. Mullins will give way to a pinch runner. Looks like Gonzalo Mazmu, if I'm not mistaken, the Argentine player. So Matthew Waugh will step in 2 for 2 on the day. Homer and a single to right field. Hard hit balls. Likes the ball in. Mazmu with good speed over there at first. Tries to check his swing, but it's in for a strike. I think Waugh was asking whether it was swinging or if it was actually a strike.
Número 16 en su espalda. Este es Álvaro. Tenía que traerlo para verte.
Oh, 1 pitch bounces, and Zara can't corral that one. Mazmu jogs down to second base.
En la segunda base. Señores, estamos jugando el partido final de la Supercopa Peligro Sport en su 24ª temporada. Y esta copa dedicada
So the wild pitch puts Gonzalo Masmu at second.
Diputado de ultramar en la ciudad de Nueva York. Así que ya lo sabe, mi gente. Anótese. Votar para que pueda exigir. Listo el lanzamiento.
Prize ball that skips off the screen. Zara throws to third, actually closer than it would have been.
Bueno, problema ahí el receptor.
Didn't think he had a play at all. Masmu having to slide in safely.
Dos pass-ball consecutivos hace que el corredor de primera ahora está anclado en tercera, sin out.
That's skipper Greg Leather over there talking to Masmu in the third base coach's box.
Carrera por dos. Sigue el partido, te sigue narrando el Topo 15.
Roy continúa bateando, llegó el lanzamiento.
Comes inside, almost hits him on that one, ball four. And Matthew aboard for the third time today.
Vienen otra vez el equipo de los Gremlins a buscar carrera porque son de ellos la carrera ahora.
No, está encendido, no han bajado la presión contra los pitchers del equipo.
That'll bring a conference to the pitcher's circle, a little break in the action. Both teams surrendering some free passes. Kirkpatrick a couple of walks and a couple of hit batters. That's a third free pass for Niagara. 2 walks and a hit batter. Here's Ramaki. Ramaki 1 for 2 in the game, a double to left field on that little chip shot. Came around to score the 6th run of the game. Still just 1 out.
Listo de nuevo, Graham. Llegó el lanzamiento. Bajito de nuevo aquí, señores.
Ball low.
Supercopa Peligro Sport. Transmisión en vivo a través de todas las redes sociales por Softball Premier TV. Ya lo saben. Saludo especial para mi hermano y amigo Domingo Mofler.
Pop foul off the top of the screen. Right back in play.
Seguro que batea de hit. Peligro Sport. 2200 de Amsterdam Avenue. Ahí en Manhattan. Peligro Sport. La super tienda. Saludo especial para doña Zula, que está ya en el área de la tercera base mirando el partido. Sigue el Topo en la narración.
Oye, Veneno, yo quiero decir.
Launched into right field, and that one's a carbon copy of the semifinal home run. Long and deep out towards Yankee Stadium. Jerome Ramaki has done it again. 3-run home run.
Tremendo palo ahí por el right fielder.
So Ramaki with the power stroke on full display in the semifinal game and now the championship game. 6 RBIs from 2 swings of the bat. Let's watch the replay. Stayed back on it and just nailed it. Way out past the fence. And it looks like that'll be all for Jordan Graham.
Es que hay un cambio de lanzadores. No hay nada que hablar, creo que aquí.
So with that one swing, it turns a 6-2 game into a 9-2 game. So the Stompers in jeopardy of run rule. They'll need to score a run or 2 here to get their full set of at-bats. Let's see who's coming on to pitch. We'll take a break in the action. While they do, we'll come back and tell you who.
Nosotros tenemos un récord aquí.
So Niagara will bring on Kyle Linton to pitch in place of Joran Graham. Benny Noka will be the batter. Add another country to the mix. Kyle Linton, a member of the Great Britain national team, going back to about 2015 or thereabouts from Saskatoon days. He'll face Inoka. Inoka first pitch swung at a new pitcher and hit a home run last time up. Takes that one for a ball. In the semifinal game, Inoka greeted reliever Osika with a home run.
Base limpia después de un tremendo cuadrangular de 3 carreras de Girán. La vez pasada strike cantado. Esta es la Supercopa Peligro Sport en su 24ª temporada. Gracias a todos nuestros patrocinadores.
Hard to remember, it's only the third inning in this game. 9 runs in for the Gremlins, and the Stompers started out with 2 of their own back in the first.
Desde el primer día, jueves 29, desde las 7 de la noche, que han venido apoyando esta Supercopa.
Hitters out here free swinging, acting like they left the car by the parking meter. Got to get back, so swinging away they are.
Se recuesta un poquito buscando la señal del catcher. Aquí viene su lanzamiento.
High drop, that one just missing upstairs.
Para el bateador. Ben Enoka. Eric Ochoa está en el círculo de espera de información de Peligro Sport. Saludo especial para nuestra gente buena de la.
If you're a Stomper fan, they'll have 8-9-1 coming up at the top of the 4th inning.
Listo de nuevo. Fly foul.
No bate de foul, visite la tienda Peligro.
Still just 1 out. The inning started with the fly out by Blake Hunter, followed by the Mullins single, a walk to Matthew Waugh, and then the big blast off the bat of Jerome Remaki.
De la esposa de Peligro Sport, que está aquí también apoyando este gran evento. Sigue el partido, sigue el tope.
Jack Venero, compañero fiel. Y le habla el Topo 15, narradores oficiales de la Supercopa Peligro Sport.
Straight back to the screen. Ben just missed that one.
Para Emilio Gómez, mi hermano de Emilio de.
You can see from the look on his face, pitch he could have done something with, just missed it.
Es nuestro amigo y hermano, además, colega de las transmisiones en vivo.
Gets right back in the box, gets himself ready. It's a little spinning pinwheel coming onto the field. Time is called.
Gracias, Emilio y su esposa y los hijos que siempre están acompañando en estos tipos de eventos, trabajando con nosotros. Sergio no lo he visto, pero está siempre trabajando con Quemadito Reyes, dando.
2-2 count on Ben Inoka.
¿Dónde está mi hermano? Levanta la mano para verte y te buscar con la policía. Ah, bueno, está inmóvil. Listo de nuevo. Ahí
Lifted out into deep left field, going back, and just watching that one go is Underwood. Home run by Ben Inoka. So Inoka matches Remaki with a home run in each of the last 2 games, semifinal homer, and now home run in the championship game. Watch it on the replay. Got it up and out. No doubt about it. So the score now at 10-2, and we are in run rule territory. Ochoa, the batter. Ochoa 2 for 2 on the day. Double to right his first time. Single to center last time.
Bueno, le puso color en Noca, que no había dado un hit todavía. Ahora le da el cuadrangular, fue ponchado. Y luego por la 53. Ahora respira, porque dijo no me puedo ir así. No podía ir así sin nada.
Grounder out to second base. Attewell over to Marshall Cronk for the 4-3 put out.
Estamos en el tercer episodio, el 4 también. Por la vía 43 falló Ochoa. Ahí el segundo out de la entrada. Ave María. De nuevo.
The batter is Zenon Winters, also 2 for 2 on the day. Zenon doubled to left field his first time to the plate, drove in a run, single to center. So let's see if he can paint out the spray chart and hit one to right field. Ball off the plate outside. Good location by Linton. Winters likes the ball in or out over the plate. Comes inside and hit him. So the second hit batter against the Gremlins, they on their side of the ledger. Kirkpatrick has plunked 2 of his own, so 4 hit batters in this championship game. The other was Cole Evans, who was hit by a pitch his last time up. That was from Joran Graham. Singled off Martin Gonzalez back in the first, came around to score the 4th run of the game. Good location by Linton, in for a called strike.
Ave María. Están adentro del equipo. Porque puede haber cualquier cosa aquí, menos nada bueno. Cualquier cosa puede suceder, menos algo bueno. Ahora el equipo de los Stompers. Listo, de nuevo llegó la segunda.
Way inside with that one, misses. Linton pitching Evans the same way his 2 predecessors did, trying to keep it inside. High drop, stays upstairs. 2 outs in the inning. Linton trying to get the 3rd, get his team off the field and back to hitting. Rise ball upstairs, swinging in foul tip. Ball up and out of the zone.
2200 de Amsterdam Avenue, ahí en Manhattan. Saludo especial para Leo Sajoma.
2 balls and 2 strikes now to Cole Evans.
El partido 10, carrera 2. Arriba el equipo New York Gremlins, te sigue narrando el Topo 15. Una información de Peligro Sport.
High pop fly, center fielder Tio Migliavaca squeezes it for out number 3. Side retired, but not before the Gremlins add another 4 runs. 3 coming on the home run by Jerome Remaki, the 4th a homer by Ben Inoka, and Andrew Kirkpatrick will take a 10-2 lead to the 4th. We'll be right back. Half of the 4th inning as Niagara tries to climb back in this one, looking up the hill at an 8-run margin. Peter Rona is the hitter. He's in the 8th spot. He'll be followed by Zara, the catcher, and then back to Tio Migliavaca at the top of the batting order. Swing and a miss on a drop ball. It's a 7-run run rule. So if the Stompers want to get their full set of at-bats, play a full 7, they'll need to tally a run or 2 here. Swing and a miss, down on strikes goes Rona.
Qué bárbaro, ahí está el primer out del
3 consecutive strikeouts by Kirkpatrick as he settles in.
Kirkpatrick.
Retired 12 in a row in yesterday's game.
Los vehículos en doble parking, alguien quiere salir, ahí la que está la Land Rover. Blanca, creo que es, o gris. La de gris. Están en doble parking, quieren salir. Llegó Kirkpatrick.
Nice location on the outside edge. That's 6 strikeouts for Andrew Kirkpatrick thus far.
Es el bateador de turno. Bateando por cuarta vez.
Swing and a foul tip.
No bate de foul, cómprate un bate en Peligro Sport y seguro que batea de hit. Peligro Sport, 2200 de Amsterdam Avenue, ahí en Manhattan.
The batter won Cruz Zara, the catcher for the Stompers.
Peligro Sport.
The Stompers won their semifinal game by a 9-2 margin, so capable of putting up a lot of runs.
Por 12 el partido. Preparado Kirkpatrick.
On the outside edge, Kirkpatrick paints the outside. That's 4 consecutive strikeouts, 7 on the day, and 2 up and down quickly. Watch the location on this replay. All right, off the knee of Mullins. Great pitch calling, great setup by Nick Mullins.
Una información de Peligro Sport.
Tio Migliavaca steps in. Tio
Para el bateador.
0 for 1, struck out his first time up and came back and laid down a beautiful sacrifice back in the second inning. That followed the 2 hit batters, but the Stompers unable to cash him in.
Hay 2 out. Preparado Kirkpatrick en el pitching ball, cogiendo la señal en su cancha con mucha calma, bajita y afuera.
Over the top drop, just missing with that one.
10 carreras por 2, 3 bolas, 0 strike para el bateador. Teo. Ya 4 malas y base a
Not missing by much on those 4 pitches. Aboard with a walk is Migliavaca.
Niágara está perdiendo por 8 carreras. Parte alta del cuarto episodio. Cuarto inning. Último
So
partido.
that breaks the string of 4 consecutive strikeouts. It'll bring Blake Milheim to the plate. Andrew continuing to battle with the soft landing area out there, kind of a sandy couple of divots. Grounder in the 5.5 hole. Great play by Cole Evans, almost getting the out. Diving slide going way into the hole on what looked like a base hit to left. Watch the replay. All the way over, then comes up firing. Just missed getting him at first. So Milheim, an infield single. Migliavaca now down to second base, and Cam Schiller responsible for the 2 runs the Stompers do have with that first inning homer.
Afuera el lanzamiento, la primera mala, una bola, 0 strike para Cam Schiller.
Schiller now one of the mainstays of the USA softball program, one of the leaders in that club.
Preparado de nuevo, foul hacia atrás.
Among their very best hitters.
Y seguro que batea de hit. Peligro Sport, 2200 de Amsterdam Avenue. Ahí te encuentras los útiles deportivos a buen precio originales en Peligro Sport. Preparado el pitcher de nuevo, cogiendo la señal de su cancha con mucha calma.
Hard grounder to Cole Evans, bobbles it, picks up and throws. Migliavaca running in front of him, so some great concentration by Cole Evans. Hangs on, picks it up, makes the throw for the final out. For the Stompers in the 4th, no runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. We go to the home half of the 4th inning. 10-2, Gremlins on top in this championship game. You're watching the 2023 COPA PELIGRO on the Gremlins Network. We'll be right back.
Llévatelo, DJ. Vamos a la continuación del partido.
Home half of the fourth, we go for the Gremlins. We are
Baja del cuarto episodio para el equipo de New York Gremlins. Siguen ganando, ya veremos.
down to 7, 8, 9. That's Malarchik, Hunter, and Mullins. Malarchik 0 for 1 on the day. A walk, didn't score. Strikeout last time up. Kyle Linton, the third pitcher for Niagara Stompers. It's a 10-2 game. It's a 7-run rule after 5. So the Stompers will have to score in their next frame or the game would be over. Right now, the Gremlins just thinking about trying to tack on to that lead. They scored 4 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third. 10 runs on 10 hits. Hard foul ball. That one chases some of the fans to scurry away from that left field corner. Some of them having barbecues out here, some with percussion instruments. We've had a drum corps, the maracas, and everything in between. It's been a wild weekend here in New York City. Inside, taken for a ball. So we said 10 runs on 10 hits. 10 would be the magic number for the Gremlins if they can hold on and win this one. They are currently on a 9-game win streak. Dropped their first game of the season and have rattled off 9 consecutive wins. Trying to notch a 10th right here. Strike 3 called. Malarchik won't argue. Let's look at the pitch again. Yeah, right on the outside edge. Hard to argue when you're up 10-2. So that'll bring Blake Hunter to the plate. Ball off the outside part of the plate. So it's Great Britain facing Canada right here.
Cierre del cuarto episodio. Peligro Sport 2200 de Amsterdam. Listo una vez más, buscando la señal del catcher. Llegó el lanzamiento rápido pero alta.
The Gremlins are a well-balanced team. They come from all parts of the world. 1 from Team Mexico, 2 from the USA, 3 from Australia, Argentina, and Canada, 5 from New Zealand.
Estos caballeros que están aquí y los que están fuera, que hacen el trabajo, el Paito Rey y todo el mundo, para que esto se lleve a cabo. No solo por nosotros, sino por el señor Peligro, que está por ahí dando su vuelta.
Foul tip. That one winds up in the Gremlins dugout.
Visita la tienda Peligro Sport. Cómprate tu bate allá y seguro que batea de hit. Peligro Sport 2200 de Amsterdam Avenue ahí.
Want to say a quick hello to Patricia Manley. Hope you have a chance to be watching these 2 games today and are enjoying your Gremlins.
Que está con nosotros en el día de hoy, celebrando y mirando esta gran jornada hasta el final de esta 24ª Peligro Sport.
Ball outside off the plate. The starter for the Stompers was Martin Gonzalez. Went just 1 inning, surrendered 4 of the runs. He gave way to Joran Graham, and now Kyle Linton, the third pitcher.
Preparado de nuevo, Killy Linton. El pitching ball llegó al lanzamiento.
Foul tip back to the screen.
No bate de foul. Tres tocando bocina otra vez. No bate de foul. Visita la tienda Peligro Sport. Allí en Santiago, en la Plaza Marili, frente al home. Será atendido magistralmente por su hermano.
Kirkpatrick with a 7-0 shutout win yesterday. Complete game victory. And was the starter for New York and still going in this one. So Hunter aboard with a walk with 1 out. That'll bring Nick Mullins to the dish, and Matthew Waugh will head over to the third base side on deck circle, as the hitters do. Stay out of harm's way. Put yourself behind the batter, not where he can hit you with a foul ball.
De nuestro hermano Luciano. No deje de seguirnos, por favor. Y estamos en todas las plataformas. No deje de seguirnos, porque después de aquí nos vamos para otro país.
Hunter looking across the diamond at the skipper, Greg Leather over in the third base box, but have to think they'll be just going station to station with a 10-2 lead. Foul tip straight back to the screen. Mullins with a single last time up, came around to score on that monstrous home run by Jerome Remaki. Remaki and Inoka, the story of this final day of the Peligro tournament, homering in the semis, homering in the finals.
Preparado el pitcher de nuevo.
Linton trying to pound the outside edge, missing away.
10 carreras por 2, parte baja del cuarto episodio. Y el próximo inning, si no hay carrera, hay problema para el equipo de Canadá. Sigue el partido, sigue el topo.
Ave María, llega el lanzamiento.
Foul tip off the screen.
No bate de foul, que esos bates no están comprados en Peligro Sport. Cómprate un bate en Peligro Sport y seguro que batea de hit. Peligro Sport. Ahí viene el tren. Allá lo oyen, la bocina. Eso es saludándolo a nosotros por el gran evento que está realizando la Super Copa Peligro Sport para todos ustedes. Sigue el partido, sigue el topo.
Aunque ustedes no lo crean, es así. Eso es así.
1-2 pitch to Mullins, lifted high in the infield. It'd be Marshall Cronk going over to squeeze it for the out. 2 outs in the inning. Back to the top of the order we go to Matthew Waugh. Matthew's been aboard all 3 times today. Homered in the first, single to right in the second, and walked in the third. Has scored 3 of the 10 runs for the Gremlins.
Un saludo especial para la retama que está por ahí por la tercera base. Sí, parece que está por ahí, la retama. Él dijo ahorita que se iba menos.
Swinging a foul tip. Matthew, the spark plug for this Gremlin offense. They were down 2-0 early and not used to being behind, but Matthew Waugh comes out. Very first hitter of the game for the Gremlins. Lines a shot over the right field fence and lifted the spirits of the Gremlins, got things going for them. He goes, we go, they say. High pop-up, that one should stay playable. Backing up is shortstop Cam Schiller, just in front of Migliavaca for the final out. So the side retired for the Gremlins in the 4th. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. We head to the 5th. The Stompers will need a run if they're to continue in this game. Andrew Kirkpatrick and the Gremlins looking for 3 outs to end it. We'll be back for the 5th.
Te sigue narrando el Topo 15.
A mí no me gusta que termine así, pero si la situación no amerita.
Top half of the 5th inning, it's crunch time for the Stompers, and it looks like it'll be a pinch hitter for Marshall Cronk. If my scorecard is correct, that says Pat Shannon. Number 1, Pat Shannon hitting for Cronk. If you're a Stomper fan, they've got the right part of the order coming up. It's 4, 5, and 6. Kirkpatrick with the first one in for a foul tip strike. 3 outs, and the Gremlins would be the champions here in 2023 Peligro. But the margin just at 8, so the Stompers looking to try and score a couple of runs. Kirkpatrick bounces that one in the dirt. You almost don't need a scorecard to know it's Pat Shannon at the plate. You look at the batting stance, that left foot wide open, then steps towards the pitcher. A little nubber out in front of the plate. Nick Mullins bounces up, makes a great play and a good throw down to first base. Eric Ochoa right on the spot. So Shannon making the contact, but great play by Nick Mullins for the out. 2-3 on your scorecard if you're keeping it at home. Looks like another substitution here, number 22. See if we can pick that up from the card. That looks to be Matt Greer. Matt Greer, number 22. Hopper over to Cole Evans, makes quick work of it. And just like that, 2 outs, and the Stompers are down to their final out. Andrew Kirkpatrick started this one trying to close out the Stompers and give his team the 2023 Peligro Cup. Hard grounder off of Kirkpatrick, rolls over to second, they shovel it to first, a 1-4 to 3 put out, and 3 consecutive outs in the final frame. And folks, that's the ball game. The New York Gremlins have run their win streak to 10 and have captured the Peligro Cup here in 2023. A story for the day on the Gremlins. They fell behind early in both the semifinal and final, surrendering 2 runs in the first inning of each, but then roared back with the offensive juggernaut, racking up runs as they had all throughout this tournament. They finished the tournament undefeated. They have now won every game since that first game loss. Benny Noka, Jerome Raymaki with home runs in both the semifinal and the final. Andrew Kirkpatrick, 2 big wins, one yesterday, one today. The whole pitching staff contributing. Jack Besgrove opened the tournament with a 16 strikeout performance. Pablo Migliavaca followed that, striking out 12 in the second game. So it's been a team effort throughout, everybody contributing. Zenon Winters, Eric Ochoa continuing to swing a hot bat, as was Matthew Waugh. Very much a team effort. You've been watching, and we hope you've been enjoying the games on the Gremlins Network. We'll be back next week at the Boys of Summer in Wisconsin. Hope you can join us. You can always Google the New York Gremlins on YouTube and find the games. I'll be moving on to that one. We'll be with you all season long. Hope you can stay with us. Tip our cap, of course, to the hard-working crew of Softball Premier TV. They are doing the heavy lifting, as they have all weekend. Luciano Lofrano and his wife Carol. Carol on the camera that you see from time to time over on the first base side, sitting in the scaffolding. And Luciano manning the controls, keeping the cameras going, focused on the game, giving you that aerial view from the drone. Complete package for these folks. So to the Gremlins, we say congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
la foto. Así que para todos ustedes, el señor José Mateo va a hacer el acto de entrega del segundo lugar, un equipo aguerrido que llegó hasta esta altura y que ha dado todo por el todo y que merece un fuerte aplauso de todos ustedes para este segundo lugar. Que se sienta y hace acto de entrega a su manager. Así que para la foto ahí está, aquí con el señor Peligro Sport. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you. A continuación, señores, a continuación vamos a hacer acto de entrega de su MVP y su pitcher ganador, y le vamos a pasar las palabras a Larry, el técnico de esta Copa Peligro número 24.
Thanks very much. The most valuable pitcher award this year goes to a guy who's been our most valuable pitcher for his entire life. But this year, again, it's Andrew Kirkpatrick. The tournament most valuable player, it's again a guy who's been there forever, continues to age but gets like wine, better with age, and still smashes the shit out of the ball. Zen Winters.
Seguimos en vivos aquí mientras el fotógrafo hace su trabajo. Vamos a llamar a Grey Leather, manager campeón de lo que es la Copa número 24 de Peligro Sport 2023. Un fuerte aplauso para ese manager ganador de los New York Gremlins. Hace acto de entrega José Mateo, también conocido como Peligro. Peligro Sport.
Cogiendo basura.
Aquí están, señores, con ustedes este magnífico equipo que viene todo el torneo demostrando su calidad, su compromiso con el deporte y con el juego, con el partido. Un campeonato merecido. Han tenido un campeonato digno de admiración aquí en la Copa Peligro número 24 2023. Venga el aplauso, que se siente el aplauso para los New York Gremlins. Esos son nuestros campeones de la Copa Peligro número 24 2023. La foto del recuerdo, merecido triunfo. Un equipo que lo ha dado todo en el terreno de juego y hoy es el campeón de la Copa Peligro, la número 24. Señores, la celebración de un equipo que ha dado todo en el terreno de juego, su entrega, su forma de juego, digno representante de lo que es la Copa más electrizante del habla hispana que tiene el softball rápido, el softball de espanto y brinco, un picheo extraordinario donde, como dice el Topo 15, es una cita para los mejores del mundo.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on softball.